people! You're gonna burn in hell!
All right, everybody back to business. We caught some intruders. Security's gonna take care of them.
You call this stuff you do punk? It's easy listening.
Oh, what's that, mate?
Punk is junk. Punk is junk. Heavy metal rule.
Yeah. Metal. Yeah.
Yeah. Punk is junk.
Heavy metal rule!
Punk is junk.
Heavy metal rule. Punk is junk. Heavy metal rule. Punk is junk. Heavy metal rule. Punk is junk. Heavy metal rule.
It's Chris, and I'm here with my friend Margie, and we're just going to look at her small sample of her record collection. So I hope that you'll find this interesting. And Margie's got a real alternative taste in music, but she's got some great stories. And let's just look at some of your records that you were kind enough to pull out.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on your channel.
Yeah.
So my first one is L7 Smell the Magic. It was re-released this year. It's called the Loser Edition on Sub Pop. L7 has a very strong place in my heart. They changed my life dramatically. Just the empowerment, I really needed that at the time when I discovered them, and I've never looked back. It's a beautiful record. I'm super in love with it.
And this is a 2020 re-release, I guess, of
Yes.
the original EP.
It's blue and orange and beautiful. There's that, and then their awesome logo on the back. Very nicely done. Favorite song on here is Shove. It's just so heavy, and that female growl, there's just something about that. It really resonates with me, and always has and always will. This next one is Rage Against the Machine. I guess it's a classic now.
And it kind of looks like 2020 on the cover.
Yes. Every song on here is powerful, resonates with me as a person. It's sad that it's still very relevant, but it is. And we have a lot of work to do, but I mean, just classic. It's hard, heavy, has a message, which I wish more people would listen to. And you can't go wrong with this album. It's perfect, absolutely perfect.
Very cool.
My next one is Opiate from Tool, another classic.
Another EP.
An EP, yes.
And you've seen them live, you said.
Yes, quite a few times. Favorite show of theirs was in Daytona Beach. Not sure what year it was, but the Ocean Center decided it would be a good idea to fill the pit with steel chairs. I was like, this is gonna go over well. And it actually did. Not one person swung a chair at anyone else. And I was so surprised because when you see them in person, they just fill every part of your soul, and you get angry and excited and all the emotions. And I thought for sure we were gonna have a riot, but good for you, Daytona.
We really all can get along.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, especially at a Tool show. And what's really cool about this is there's a double track song, so depending on where you put the needle on that particular section, that's what song you'll get, which, you know, is very unique.
That is cool.
And I really think that's just shows their creativity. A lot of people don't like Tool, but I do. So the funniest thing about this record, and it's just hard for me to imagine, is that Maynard from Tool and Bill Manspeaker from Green Jello would listen to this over and over and over again to get on their neighbors' nerves. And Bill Manspeaker is just so chill that I just can't imagine him doing that to, but you know, sometimes a neighbor just needs to be taught a lesson, right? But yeah, so whenever I play this, I think of that story that he told me, and I just chuckle every time. Just makes me laugh. So the next one is also Jello Biafra, and this one is with the Guantanamo School of Medicine, and it's White People and the Damage Done. Amazing, amazing album. Again, super relevant to our times. The Brown Lipstick Parade is probably my favorite song on here. Let's see. And of course, White People and the Damage Done. I mean, that's a great song. It's a great song. Resonates with me personally. And how do you go wrong with Jello Biafra? He's a national treasure.
Yeah, been around forever.
Yeah.
Still around.
Yeah. When he started his speaking tours, my husband and I went to Orlando to see him, and he spoke to us for 6 hours.
Wow.
No breaks, on steel chairs. We're obese. It was worth every ache and pain that we felt through that 6 hours. Yeah, life-changing. If we ever get to a point where he's starting to do that again, go. Very good, very
Cool.
good. So these next two are a little bit silly for some people, but I was a huge fan of Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. And so this is actually from the Antichrist Superstar era, but they're, you know, it's a solid album. Love it. I love Portrait of American Family.
So is that one album on 2 discs? Is that what that is?
These are just singles.
Oh, okay.
Yes, singles. And they're just picture discs from Great Britain. I don't think there's anything too special about them, but I had to have them when I saw them. I actually met my husband because of Marilyn Manson. I knew a lot more about Marilyn Manson than he did, so he fell in love with me, and that's our story. Because I'm in Florida and he was in Iowa, so his, introduction was The Beautiful People. I'm like, well, let's go back a little bit, and his mind was blown. He was like, wow. And then he just couldn't get rid of me after that. So this is an oldie but a goodie. This is considered oldies, isn't it?
From 1986, so that's, yeah.
That's oldies.
That's oldies now.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that funny? So Sam Hain, Danzig, in between Misfits and Danzig. It sounds exactly like what you think it would. Right in the middle. Human Pony Girl. Love that song. It's perfection because, Danzig's in it. And I love
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Huge influence on me in my life, like my whole life. From the Misfits on up till now. And when he dies, I'm gonna have a hard time. Hard time. And then this is currently my most favorite record. I'm super stoked.
Until the next Danzig record.
Well, it's gonna be hard to beat this. This was a gift from my wonderful friend Christopher over here. It's Danzig Sings Elvis. It's a 45. Elvis, Danzig, and this is the kicker. Leopard print. I mean, if you could find 3 words to describe me, It's Elvis, Danzig, and Leopard
That's
print.
just what I was thinking.
And it brought me to tears. It brought me to tears when I opened this. It was so thoughtful. And you know, he'd only known me for just a few months, and I guess I just exude what I
needed to
am.
be in your hands. For
Yes.
Sure.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Love it, love it. Okay, this next one.
And this has a local Florida connection.
Yes. So this is some good old-fashioned thrash, which is so funny to say, old-fashioned thrash. But yeah, Florida thrash. It has Eric Payne and Greg Roberts and Mike Radford. They're in Orlando. My friend Greg is in the band, and they were all nice enough to autograph this for me. I don't like a lot of new stuff. I kind of got stuck musically, but when I heard this, I fell in love instantly. It's heavy, it's hard, and it just rocks your face off. There's just, it's currently my favorite thing to listen to.
Awesome.
Very, very, I was super stoked. They also have a red vinyl version, which I also got, but we'll show you this one today. What a great group of guys.
Very cool.
So this one, Green Jello, this is actually the official soundtrack of the documentary, which I believe is streaming now. It's very well done. I loved it. Mr. Manspeaker was nice enough to autograph this for me. Oh, and did you know I once won Dinner with the Cow God contest?
I did not know that.
So, what's funny is they actually played in Jacksonville, and so my husband and I lived in Ormond Beach at the time, which is about an hour south. We drove up to see the show, and on our way up, I posted a picture of my husband looking at the Serial Killer VHS. And Mr. Manspeaker saw it and he commented. And I had this whole conversation with him all the way up to the concert on Facebook. And when we got there, he called us up to the stage. We met him. We sang The Bear Went Over the Mountain with him. He bought me a beer. First time I ever got to see Green Jello. It was like a dream come true. And then the very next day, he came to my house for dinner. And I made him lasagna, and he ate my lasagna, and we just chilled, and he told stories all night, he told the story about the Lard record that night, and we've been really good friends ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's super great. And this, I actually have several copies of this one as well. But this one, so I have, he autographed the poster as well. And then the vinyl is clear with the green splash, and there's the 3 pigs. And it's one of my favorites.
Very cool looking, yeah.
He's so funny. But now this one, this is my most, I can't even, when this came to me, I was so excited. So I was trying to get this record for many years, and it's Green Jello, Triple Live Mother Goose at Budokan. And it's actually one of only 25 pressed. And the story goes, there is a man roaming around, Los Angeles, and someone asked him, "What would you like to do?" And the man said, "I would like to produce a Green Jello record." And the man who asked the question handed this homeless guy a couple $1,000. And he goes and he presses this particular pressing of the Green Jello album. He came to the Green Jello loft, dropped them off for Bill, and that's the story of this record. There's only 25, and the way that you know is that there's a hand stamp of the label. And the guy just went to town and just pressed it, stamped it everywhere. But yeah, this is a very, very...
And they did a re-release of that of this year in 2020 for Record Store Day, but this is the original one, yeah.
Very cool, yeah. And what's also fun, so it also comes with this storybook. And there's just, you know, green Jello stories in there. There's the big bad wolf that we all know and love. And it also came with the original press kit. So there's their 8x10. This is right from Zoo Entertainment, their bio, and their little press clipping kit. And so green Jello is a very big part of my life. I played them at my wedding, Rock and Roll Pumpkin. And they were another band that my husband and I bonded over way back 20 plus years ago. And when we told Bill that we played Rock and Roll Pumpkin at our wedding, he was like, "You are joking." I was like, "No, we really did." And so he loves that story. He loves telling people that story.
And so the last one we have is from 1971, very rare edition of something belonging to your dad, the Black Sabbath Master of Reality.
Mm-hmm. From Taiwan. He bought this, we are thinking at the beginning of his second tour to Vietnam. It's a bootleg. Didn't you say this particular company made a lot of them?
They made like a lot, all kinds of releases that are all unofficial and not available for sale on Discogs, but just amazing to think of young soldiers listening to that on ship.
Yep, they had a record player on the ship, and they had to listen to it on Sundays on their day off, which I thought was funny. So, you know, my dad, he was 17 when he went to boot camp, turned 18 on his way to his first tour, and then on a second tour, he stopped at Hong Kong and got this record along with a couple others, Rare Earth and the Beatles, also bootlegs. But yeah, this one I was a staple in my house. My dad's a huge Black Sabbath fan. It's every song is tattooed into my head, every single one. It helped me fall asleep at night. I remember watching this go around and around and around and around, and just mesmerizing. Yeah, it's always been there. Black Sabbath has always been there. Much like young people now, the internet has always been there.
Ozzy's always been
there. Oh, Ozzy's always been there. He lives in my head. But yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Killer. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Thank you for having me on your channel. I'm super excited about it.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Talk is junk. Heavy